or migrants. I mean,
Sitting down.
yes.
Large scale population movement and resettlement.
Wow, that sounds scary, and it sounds like it has to do maybe with the open border situation happening right now.
But it's with us as well.
Wow.
That they are going to start practicing moving us out of our homes and resettling us other places, like the FEMA camps.
Oh my gosh. They're just going to say, you
Population.
got to leave, you got to leave, you got to leave your home and go to the FEMA camp instead. Go to this concentration
Yes.
camp.
Yeah, because of climate refugees or whatever their excuse is going to be. It may be a pathogen. It may be just, it's a green order that they have decided that, you have to resettle and relocate. What I learned in the 1990s, I have this book called The Holocaust Chronicles, and it goes month by month in the Holocaust. And I was reading this. It's very easy, lots of good pictures in it if you want to get that as a reference book. But the United States was passing the same laws with the same name on the same day as the Nazis did.
That's right. That's wow. That's wild.
Yeah, that's where NDAA came from, and many of the tyrannical Patriot Act and those types of things came from. And they were actually used the Nazi names on the same day. So there's this ritual about it. So not good. Then there is mitigating social isolation and loneliness. That means, so we've already hit this from 2020. People have started dropping over dead. And so there's a lot of us that are living by ourselves in isolation. And that is probably going to be a crime in the future. They're either going to tell me that I have to move out of my home. I'm already hearing in articles and reading stuff that says I'm depriving young people of owning a home because I'm living in this house.
By yourself?
By myself.
Wow.
So they're going to help me out, and I'm going to have to take in 25 or 40 families into my house to offset this social isolation. And it will be a crime to be lonely. They want to get into your brain.
Wow, that's so scary. And they probably will make the case for it with different articles and propaganda and saying how it's inequitable to own a home if you're just by yourself, when there's all these people that would better be fit for a home, like a family or this and that, or migrants. I mean, that's crazy. Wow. So we got to start looking in the news for things like that, for propaganda leading us in that direction.
And not to mention, watch the FEMA exercises as these roll out in your local area, because there's county exercises, there's state exercises, and then there's the federal exercises. So you really kind of have to keep your eye. We all have to keep our eye, because these are new. These are new exercises that have never been done before. So we really need to network and share with each other both what happens during those exercises and if there's any repercussions from them. So, like, does it go live? Because in every exercise, there is an element that goes live, every single one. So you just need to know that. Okay, so then there's a response to the opioid crisis. And I wasn't really sure what this meant until I was going through my journals, go through 150 journals, each with 50 studies every week. I really should go through it twice a week, but I don't have enough time. They are going to start giving everybody opioid vaccinations.
Opioid vaccinations?
Yes.
Wow.
So if you take an opioid, it will do nothing. It will not kill your pain. It won't do anything.
Oh my gosh,
it's going to neutralize it. Yeah, but it's another way. So what else is in that vaccine? I mean, I just saw this, so I haven't had time to dig into it. And most of us can't even get opioids. The only people they're really giving opioids to are people in hospice. And I know that my sister knows somebody that died of cancer, and he wasn't given anything, and he writhed for 3 months in pain. And I think what the nurses or whoever was taking care of him, I think they were selling it on the street, and then he was left to just fend for himself. So we just don't know.
Wow.
Okay, so enhancing supply chain resilience. Translated, this is the New World Economic Forum supply chain. All the old things that we're familiar with, the old soap products, our favorite jeans, everything
Yeah.
is going to be different. It's all going to be green. It's all going to be sustainable in their eyes. It will have bad frequencies. It's going to be bad for us. But just realize that that is where we're going. Is this they're taking out the old supply chain? That's why we saw all the manufacturing plants being destroyed and stuff, because they're bringing in this new supply chain.
In their new creation, like their creation, which means something very, very detrimental and harmful to us.
Yeah, it's a synthetic virtual twin, and everything will be digital. Recovery, it's going to be translated that the only people that are going to experience recovery is if you go into the matrix and basically allow yourself to be killed to save the planet. So those are the people that will be given the money. Now they've got two more in this particular this set of 10 exercises. One is your community profile. So once again, we're driving down into the local community, which is not going to be a safe haven for you any longer. They're getting the UN is getting their meat hooks into the locals, and unfortunately our locals, our states, and of course the feds are allowing it. So it's going to be very dangerous. It's going to be infiltrated, and you need to prepare for the day when your community becomes a war zone, because that is rapid. This is like, it might happen this year. Wow. It will happen this year. Wow. Okay, the last one is the most scary.
Okay,
this is
I'm bracing myself.
Yeah, this is on reunification. And reunification, the whole concept came about during Hurricane Katrina, when children were separated from their parents. Wow. And what happened after Hurricane Katrina is a bill was introduced to Congress that said, in the event of a nuclear exchange, that if your children were at school, this could be daycare, it could be ballet, it could be school, it could be high school, it could be college, whatever, that if you went to go pick up your children, they would not be released to you. They would not be released.
Wow.
And
what
so it passed. But if you know anything about our process, is that the original bill language is nothing like the language at the end. And so it got changed. So in the event that the environment is not safe, your children cannot be released to you, because you are transferring custody of your child to that person. And right now, quite frankly, because of the UN and the United States' declaration that there is a climate change crisis, your children, you might take them to wherever you're taking them to and not be able to get them back. You need to understand that and take preventative action.
Who would they go to? Where would they go instead of the parents?
This has been beta tested. There was a huge snowstorm right after this got passed in Seattle, and they kept the kids for 4 days. The next one, I was just talking on another show, and I didn't realize that he lives in Denver. They did this and beta tested it in Denver, and they took a whole lot of kids in Denver to the whatever dome it is, like where the football games are played. I don't know.
Yeah, the stadium.
Yeah, a stadium. And they kept them there, and the parents were furious. Absolutely
crazy.
Furious. But
and who's they? Like who would it be? CPS? Would it be government officials? I mean, FEMA?
FEMA, government officials, everybody, because this was passed by Congress. Now FEMA and I'm sure Red Cross would be involved. And, you know, once your children are there, are they going to get vaccinated? What's going to, during Hurricane Katrina, they put all those people in that dome down south, and they did not give them food. They did not give them water, and they did not give them any medical treatment. And they turned the cameras on and watched them go Mad Max. That's what
That's
they would do.
crazy experiment. Wow.
So
And
they
they're bringing it
also
to us.
yes, they're bringing it to our children. So you need to be very careful. And I don't care how much, you say, I'm a big, tough person. I'm going to go get my kid and drag him out. No, you're not. Most of the schools in America now are armed fortresses. There's guards, there's bulletproof glass, Columbine and all the others, Sandy Hook and all that, did their stuff. And now it's not easy to get into a school. And I don't think that you would be able to unless, well, we won't talk about such things about our options on air because
Yeah.
they don't have any options.
Right.
So anyway, so that's the one that really is.
That's frightening.
Yeah, and remember Hillary Clinton saying it takes a village to raise a child.
Of course. That's by
And
design.
so that's always been their goal, to grab
Yeah.
our children. And look they've been doing a fine job of indoctrinating them as it is.
Yeah.
Wait till they just get them away from us and out of our clutches, out of the parental and grandparents and great grandparents' control, out of the normal family. So
That's so crazy. I mean, that for the test run, it was 4 days. They'll see what it's like for 40 days with children away from parents, and then just keep stretching it out.
I think that I started to look up, but I got busy. I think that Denver one was for a week.
Wow. That would be terrifying as a parent. Terrifying. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. I would have been one of those parents that would have taken it. So
Of course. How do I get them away? That's insane. Okay, wow. So those are the 10 new FEMA exercises that nobody else has heard of yet.
But we've got a few more things
Okay.
that might be startling to you. So
Yes.
FEMA and the Rosalind